Can Zeke deke again? It's the coach. This is the 2020 season on EA Sports. Coming up, Ezekiel Elliott, fresh off 100 yards a week ago, as it'll be the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Green Bay Packers. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football. And to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
This place first opened way back in 1957. We are inside legendary Lambeau Field here in Green Bay. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the Green Bay Packers. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Packer team as we enter play here. It's been all systems go in this first month. They're off to a 4-0 start.
And it's got folks believing that this is a team that's built to go all the way. You can't win the Super Bowl in September, but they're telling everyone that they're going to be there in the end.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Vikings, they come in with some fresh legs as they got the week off last week thanks to the early season bye.
And usually you hope your bye comes a little bit later in the year. But when you get a chance to get fresh legs back, you take that time and you run with it.
Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. This one taken from the 7. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And a glance here at their quarterback standing 6'3".
What I enjoyed this week is that you asked to talk to his offensive center before the game and find out a little bit more about him and what the relationship is. And that was a pretty positive story, wasn't it?
Yeah, and really what I took away from that is just how it has permeated throughout the entire offensive line, the relationship they've had. It's really a group that's in sync.
They care about him. That's the thing. They really care. And when you care that much, you're going to play that much harder for him and give him a better chance to lead the team to wins.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 4 yards the pickup, first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Going quickly here to Thomas. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10. And the offensive starters for the Vikings.
And they should come in pretty well rested because they had their open week last week. Ideally, all teams want to have that open week later in the year rather than this early. But you make do with what they give you. So you take the time off, rest up, heal up, and come in ready to play.
Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10. Let's take a look now at how Green Bay will line up defensively. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
Now, if they could just get their pass defense in line, this unit would be really, really strong. And remember the conversation with the defensive coordinator? He wants them to rush the passer better. He wants to see the quarterback on the ground. They've got to create some sacks.
And he said it starts early and often. We'll see if they can get to it. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
So on 4th down, here's Johnny Hecker to punt it away. Back deep, Golden Tate. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. So now it's the Packers' turn to go on offense for the first time. They're led out by a guy who's done just about everything you could ever imagine to do in this league, the great Tom Brady.
It's been a lot of fun watching him develop in his career, but that will to win, he's had that probably since birth, and it transmits itself throughout his entire ball club. Watching him play, it can be an absolute joy unless you're on the other team.
Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. The big gainer there on the catch and run, 37 yards.
Tell you what, partner, you get the football in his hands, just give him a little bit of open space. As we just saw, he can make you pay.
And he wasn't the top option there, but check down turned into first down and then some. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. And now the offensive starters for the Packers.
And the big key is going to be how can these wideouts create separation from the defensive backs, because we've seen some early success in the passing game in this one, and that's going to need to continue.
On 2nd down, Elliott. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. Well, look now at our starting defense. They are number 2 in the NFL against the run right now, Charles.
They've established themselves pretty well throughout this season. But, boy, what a competitive group of people. They do not like that ranking they have now because they think that they're better, and they're out to prove it again in this game.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. And Walker has it. And he can only manage to take this thing to the 38, well shy of the first down. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
Now Justin Tucker's out to try the field goal. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And that is no good. He gave it a good run. That wasn't more than a foot or so wide to the left. And this will remain a scoreless game.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain. To throw on 3rd down. Lane. Oh, batted at the line and intercepted. He's picked off near his own 48. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. That time defensively looked like they showed quite a bit of pressure but backed off, and it proved fruitful. They get the pick.
He went through all of his rules about getting rid of the ball quickly because he read blitz. He saw all those people stacked at the line of scrimmage, and then they fooled him by dropping into coverage. Now he's ready to get rid of the ball fast, but guess what? Too many defenders out there. Exactly as you described, an interception.
A first down carry by Elliott. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Elliott. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Elliott. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. On 2nd down now, it's Elliott. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down. Throwing on first down is Brady. He's got his man. This is Tate. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it first and goal.
Partner, they weren't quite in the red zone, but things are starting to get condensed on the field. Throwing the corner route there, really nice play because it gives them a little bit of room to complete it.
Set, 53!
Check, 59.
Hey, Alabama.
From the gun, it's Brady. Dorsett's got it. That's good for a gain of 6, second and goal.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
One man in the backfield, that's Elliott on second and goal. Brady going to throw. Touchdown, Packers! Golden Tate, his second touchdown on the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. Tucker with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. So that drives 7 plays in length. And the result, a Green Bay score. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is taken at the 3. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And he'll look to rebound from the early interception that led to 6 points the other way.
And when he threw the interception and he had to come to the sideline, I guarantee his first thought wasn't about the interception itself, but what could result. And I know he was thinking to himself, come on, defense, bail me out. Well, they weren't able to in this situation. Now he's got to go out and atone for it himself, but he can't force things.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. Mixon with a first down carry. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Looking to throw on second down. Lane. He'll find his running back, Joe Mixon. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Operating from the gun. Lane. And that will be incomplete.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on third down. If that continues, they have little chance of winning this one.
Here's Johnny Hacker now as he'll punt it away for the second time. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Ezekiel Elliott gets ready to go again here on offense as he shuffles onto the field. And we check the rushing numbers so far here into Week 6, and the returns have been really good. Now, you're starting to hit that stride middle of the season toward the end. They're certainly hoping they can keep up this production.
They are, because one of the adages in the NFL is that defense travels and defense endures even in bad weather, right? You know what else does? A good running game. And people want that, especially as you head down the stretch. You may play outdoors in some nasty stuff. You're trying to get to the playoffs. This is the time to get it going. And individually, I don't think you should just think about 1,000 yards either. The bar has to be set higher with this beginning.
Throwing is Brady on third down. And he finds Stills, complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. It's a gain of 16 and a first down for the green and gold. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, yo.
On first down, Elliott. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
Let's go.
Now Elliott pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
The tackle by Nick Vigil.
57's the mark.
That's a gain of 3.
10th carry now for Elliott. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. They have the first down with that gain of 4 yards.
On third down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Hey, 66.
They'll run with Elliott. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down, 2nd and right at a yard. On 2nd down, it's Elliott. And he's going to get this inside the 30.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. That's caught out wide by Stills. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first. They'll run on first down. It's Elliott, and able to surge forward for about 5 yards down to the 10.
Check 59, Mike. Mike is 59. Mike is 59.
They'll run with a former Tar Heel, T.J. Logan. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there. Now it'll be 3rd down. Now Brady. And this is going to be incomplete.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow him to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let him get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. Tucker's kick is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. Nothing for them yet from an offensive standpoint. Down 10-zip as they come up 1st and 10.
Down. 15 line. 15 line. Let's get this. Get this. Ready.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. And some room to maneuver. A big play there on the catch and run. 76 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
They come out here in the eye. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Looking to throw. Lane. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. From a yard out, as they are now on the board here in the first half. That pass also evens the ledger for the rookie quarterback. Had the interception earlier, and now he gets the touchdown throw.
The ideal touchdown-interception ratio is, what, 3-to-1 for the best quarterbacks? But he's a rookie. Just getting back to even is a big deal. Increases the confidence his teammates have in him as he tries to become their leader.
Extra point put through by Succop, and that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. So a 75-yard scoring drive on just 3 plays, and it's polished off by a Viking score. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And let's gaze our attention on Ezekiel Elliott. It may just be the 2nd quarter, but he's in his zone, well on his way to eclipsing that 100-yard mark.
And when a back has a game, as we're witnessing right now, his name's going to be in the books, but it's really a collective deal, isn't it? Because that means he's getting plenty of blocking, a lot of help from his teammates, but he's making the most of it.
Yeah, he's made the most of it to this point. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd.
When you lose that kind of yardage on a pass play, you often expect it to be a sack, but that wasn't the case there. They completed the pass. Probably would have been better off just dropping the football and making an incompletion as opposed to catching it and losing that kind of yardage.
So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a 2nd and long.
Check 3, check 3. Hey, 166.
Draw play, Elliott. Call it 7 yards on the carry, so a pretty good game, but still left with a tough 3rd and 8. The Packers on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Shotgun now for Brady. And Tate's got it. 17 yards on the play there as the Packers have the first down as well. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Now here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. Now he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A very solid gain of 27.
I've got to make sure that I don't take Tom Brady's greatness for granted, that we make it routine. How about that throw right there? Yeah. Another great completion.
And you know one area where he honed his throwing, he was a catcher in high school. He was actually drafted by the Expos in 1995 in the 18th round.
Wow, that would have been something to see him behind the dish.
Think he's gunned down a few guys?
Gunned down a few guys trying to steal second. That would have been fun to watch.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10, down at the 31. No running room for Zeke on first down as he'll maybe get a yard out of that. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Another carry tonight for the workhorse Elliott. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
The Packers on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Now Brady, and that is incomplete.
And I feel like my man, Old Mo, momentum might be changing jerseys right now. How about what they just got done? They scored a touchdown their last drive. Now here's a 3 and out. Maybe momentum's getting ready to creep to the other sideline.
And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. Tucker, a career 70% success rate from 50-plus. Just incredible. And the All-Pro is money from distance again there.
They ought to give him 4 points for field goals from some of the distances that this guy makes them from.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense is doing a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, it's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get it done better going forward.
See if he can look and do some soul-searching now. The first play of the drive there is incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. They were trying to go to Brown once again, but it's going to be second down. So second down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Second and 10. Open man, he's got him, the tight end, Hawkinson. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be third down. They wound up getting nothing out of that second down completion, so now here's third and 10. Back to throw. Lane. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. Here's Johnny Hacker now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Ezekiel Elliott gets ready to go again here on offense as he shuffles onto the field. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. From the 27, Brady. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now. We'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. Brady's throw there complete. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Here's Brady to throw. And that's Elliott, complete. It'll be a 2-yard gain. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. Brady to throw again. And he's unable to haul it in, so it falls incomplete over the middle third of the field, and that brings up 4th.
I wonder, Brandon, I just wonder, you think maybe he was worried about where he was on the field? Was he far enough? Was he close enough to the first down sticks?
Absolutely. He was right there by him, and I think he was thinking first down before he caught that football.
Yeah, got to catch it first, because if you don't catch it, there's no chance of picking up a first down.
On 4th down, here's Lachlan Edwards to punt it. Back deep, Travis Benjamin. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. And a lot of times you talk about establishing the ground game. Probably something they need to do more of here, losing in the second quarter.
When you're riding your best horse, you've got to lather him up. The best running backs I've ever talked to, they've all said the exact same thing to me. I even break a good sweat until I get to 20 carries.
You're full of good wisdom. Let's see if they can get him into the game more now. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. To throw on 2nd down, Lane firing quickly, but it's incomplete. They were trying to go to Brown once again, and it'll bring up 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Joe Mixon. Got some room at the 30, and all the way up to the 31-yard line. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Line of scrimmage, the 31, as they line up 2nd and 10. To throw again, Lane. He gets this in the hands of Mixon.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Looking to throw, Lane. And that is incomplete.
And based on my math, they've only converted 1 time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. 3rd downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
Here's Johnny Hacker now. He's been terrific so far. So a change of possession here on the punt. And control of the football, switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. And let's gaze our attention on Ezekiel Elliott. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. That throw by Brady, incomplete. Brady's incompletion on 1st down leads to a 2nd and 10. Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. And he'll push forward here for a good little run as the clock continues to run. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll get our tour started out at Venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. And that one is still scoreless as they play in the second quarter. Next, we head off to check out another game. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. This will be fielded at the 8. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So here are the Packers now to take over. They're working on a 4-game winning streak, and they lead this one as well right now as they start 1st and 10. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
And let's pin the mirrors back and go full strip.
Now a play fake, Brady. And he'll hit his tight end, Walker. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. Out of the gun, it's Elliott. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. A 20th carry here for Elliott. And he's stopped up short of the first as they tackle him down at about the 36.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Here's Lachlan Edwards now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. He's still having trouble moving the ball on the ground.
Yeah, so much for halftime adjustment. Sometimes the best adjustment you make is no adjustment. You just do things better. But in this case, I think an adjustment was in order. They may have to change up and start throwing the ball around a little bit more.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. From the gun, Lane. And that's incomplete. Former Buckeye first-rounder Garyon Conley there to knock that away. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here's Johnny Hecker now, standing right on his own 5-yard line. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Throwing on second down, Brady.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Three down.
On third down, Elliott. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Not the result they were looking for there on third down. They end up taking a loss on the play. The only person happy now, the punter, gets to go out there and show Mom that he gets to play in the game.
Here's Lachlan Edwards now as he's on to punt for Green Bay. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. There, this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to something else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area. But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. Back to throw. Lane. Thomas has got it. Complete. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the first down at the 29. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down. Here's Johnny Hacker now, as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. Well, that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Packer drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
Wait, 10, wait, 20. 59. Watch the slant. Get him.
Again, it's Elliott. And he'll be taken down at the 18. So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games, that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on third down.
9 yards that time.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. On play action, now Brady. He completes it to Tate. 22 yards there, a first down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. 2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. From the shotgun, a give to Elliott. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. To throw on 2nd and 6, Brady. And his throw is incomplete. 7th play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. Working from the gun, it's Brady. He's got his man. This is Tate. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here, too. He may get a few more tacked on for good measure. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it is going to be 15 yards.
And they've got another 1st and 10 as the penalty keeps this drive moving. After the penalty, it's Elliott. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. They go to Elliott again. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
It's been a pretty long drive. This will be play number 9, and they need 10 yards out of it on 3rd. From the gun, it's Brady. He's going to go up top for the end zone. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
They converted twice on 3rd down that drive already, but couldn't make it a 3rd. We always talk about in-game adjustments. How about what the defense did there, able to shut them down on that attempt?
Now Justin Tucker's out to try the field goal. From the left hash, it's a 36-yard attempt. Tucker's kick is good. And now it's a 2-score game at 9, 16-7. So that one is his 3rd of the game. Now, if you're wondering, that's only halfway to his career high, as he once had 6 field goals.
Brandon, 6? Let's hope we don't get that again, please. Okay, can we see a few touchdowns here and there?
That'd be nice. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And now out comes Minnesota. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Throwing to start the drive. Lane. Quandre Diggs there defensively. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now, is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Lane, and Thomas has it. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. Here's Johnny Hacker now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
They'll keep it on the ground. Elliott. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Hey, go 66.
On 1st down, Brady. He finds Dorsett. It's complete. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. Back now at Lambeau. It's Packer football here as they've got the lead as well to begin the 4th quarter. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. This is Elliott. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down. A couple of 1st downs have them to the 40 now on 1st and 10. 1st down run with Elliott going to go for about 4. 2nd and 6 coming up. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. From the 44, Brady. Dorsett's got it. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Brady, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the 2nd half. Not bad. 1st and 10. From the gun, Brady. And Stills bringing it in. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. They fake the handoff. Now Brady. And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a 1st down. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
And they've got another 1st and 10 as the penalty keeps this drive moving.
Check 31, check 31. Check it, reload.
Into the red zone, it's Brady. And Walker has it. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Again, it's Brady. This will be caught just inside the 10. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. That catch, by the way, number 505 of his career, and that ties him with a couple of other tight ends for the past, Frank Wycheck and Dallas Clark.
And those guys were excellent players, but how about what we're seeing right now? 505 and rising. What a nice career he's put together. Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
They'll try again on 2nd and goal after going backwards to the 12. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes if you got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. They've been stuffed twice here for losses. Now it's 3rd and goal. Shotgun now for Brady. And that will be incomplete.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here.
A 31-yard attempt.
And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And that will give them a 12-point lead. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
And out now come the Vikings. And last time out they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up, but you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over.
You didn't turn it over, right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away, and they're set to go on the field as opposed to sudden change after a turnover. Wow, now we got to go out there and stop people. So, yeah, there's always something positive to be gained from it.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by a former first-round pick, Patrick Robinson. What did you see on that one? Rookie mistake or just good defense?
It was a combo plate, but the rookie quarterback, he'll take it all on his shoulders, and the frustration level is evident. You can see it with him. You know, if that's a veteran quarterback, he walks off like he just threw a touchdown pass because he doesn't want to show that to the defense. The young guys, they take it more to heart. It's on their sleeve a little bit. He'll learn as he goes along how to hide his emotions.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the three-point
kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
You better talk to your boy. You better talk to your boy. Protect you.
Well, we knew this guy wasn't especially fleet of foot, but he tried to conjure up some escapability, but there was no way he was getting away on that one.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Operating from the gun, Brady. Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
Now Justin Tucker. He has hit from 61 in his career, so he has the leg for this. This will be from 56 yards out. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
And now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. With his guys trailing here in the fourth, he can ill afford a repeat of the interception that ended the last drive.
Yeah, you're 2 scores down. You take it upon yourself now to play perfect or near-perfect football if you want to get your team back into the game. But it's also tough to do when you're trying to avoid errors, yet still play perfect football.
The pass to Brown as he hauls it in. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on second down. Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Boy, he ran free there after the catch as that winds up going for 38.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10.
Get it.
From the gun, Lane. He finds his target, John Brown. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. The Vikings on 3rd down. A very anemic 1 for 9 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. They give to Nixon to try to pick it up. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. They were ahead of schedule after the gain of 7 on 1st down, but the defense does not budge on 2nd and 3rd. Well, look at the clock. You're down 2 scores. Have to go for this, don't you?
And they thought that as soon as they took over possession. It didn't matter where they were on the field. They were always going to be in 4-down territory. Backed up, in good situation, it didn't matter. So they've been preparing for that on their play sheet the entire time.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Looking to throw. Lane. And this is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Packers D comes up with a big stop. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. They'll start the drive with Elliott. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. Another yard would probably put this thing in the books. It's 2nd and 1. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. Now, this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop them here. They'll keep it on the ground. Elliott And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause of the action. A timeout here defensively. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Hey, Alabama.
The give is to Elliott. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line.
And this is an absolutely big 3rd down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Has to. You said big 3rd down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here.
Wait, 20.
Let's go, D. Watch tight. Tight end's right. Watch tight. Tight end's right. Hey, we got 3 down.
Alert!
To throw, it's Brady. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
Here's Lachlan Edwards now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And a great job on special teams to down it as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. So all eyes on this Vikings offense. Down on the scoreboard. And time, a huge factor. And they're in danger of a 3rd straight loss as they come up on 1st and 10. Dumps it off to Mixon. And that won't buy him much room. Just a 1-yard gain to the 5. Clock now under 30 ticks and running. 2nd and 9 now. And the open receiver, it's Robert Woods. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. Down to 3 seconds. 2 seconds. Back to throw. Lane. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. So it's all over. A Green Bay victory. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second-half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the 2nd quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the 2nd half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Packers, they improved to 5-0 now on the young season. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, they'll fall to 1-4 with a loss. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in New Orleans against the Saints. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.